What is going on, everybody? It's the Front, and we are here for AEW Road Rsger review for your July the 7th, 2021. AEW is officially back on the road. We are no longer in Daly's place till at least August 4th, because they're going to be there one more time for the last time in a long time, according to Excalibur. So, yeah, we had ourselves a hell of a show. This was definitely This was definitely a great show, with one of the best debuts in AEW history. So, we started the show off with QT Marshall versus Cody Rhodes in a South Beach strap match. The only way to win this match is to touch all four corners in succession with no breaks. Now, of course, Nick Camarato and Aaron Solo were out there with QT. People are wondering, where is, I think, Anthony Ogogo? Anthony Ogogo is actually recovering from eye surgery from scar tissue in the UK, so he's not even in the States recently. So, this match was fucking boring. Like, QT could be the best trainer in the world. Look at Norman Smiley. Norman Smiley is one of the better trainers in the WWE Performance Center. But he was not that great at professional wrestling from the national standpoint. He may have been before WCW. QT Marshall, you can't drag a good match out of this guy. This was boring as all hell. Of course, Aaron Solo gets involved. Dustin runs out, attacks him, sends him running away. Nick Camarato goes after him. Now, I wasn't going to say anything about this except for the debut that happened. So, during this match, Cody taps the turnbuckle. Goes to tap the next one. Lights flash out, go down. Everyone's like, whoa. And they come back up, nothing. So, of course, as everyone else is probably thinking that this was just the weather because there are storms going around. They're probably lucky to even get this show started off without a hitch tonight with everything going around. But we'll have to talk about what this actually was, foreshadowing later in the show. Long story short, Cody wins. Who really gives a shit? This match was fucking boring. I was bored. I was trying to get into this match. Of course, the crowd was dead on this match for the majority of this match until it got towards the end. Cody hit the crossroads a couple times, taps all the corners, he gets the win. And it's time, and the way things, it looks like this might be it for the Factory versus Cody Rhodes, or QT versus Cody Rhodes, for a very long time, hopefully, especially with things that happen later in the show. We see what happened with Shawn Spears costing Sammy Guevara the match early last week. Shawn Spears is cutting a promo when he gets hit with a chair to the side. And it's Sammy Guevara who says, "Gotcha, bitch." And it says, "This is far from over." So, this will definitely be something that we see happening later down the line. So, yeah, definitely something that you're going to be seeing down the line. Tony Schiavone is in the ring, and I'm really honestly getting tired of these Tony Schiavone interviews because the guy doesn't even get a few words in before somebody either takes the mic from him or somebody interrupts, and it's just fucking stupid. And this was a great show overall, but there's one thing that happens later in the show that I don't even think was fucking necessary and brought the show down. This could have been an A- to A+ show, and it's going to be a B+ at the best because of this one fucking thing later in the show. So out comes Don Callis and Kenny Omega, and Don Callis starts to talk, and we get a "You got fired" chant. Which, of course, his best comeback is, "Real men don't quit, they get fired." Which, alrighty then. So he gives us a little history lesson of the people that Kenny Omega has beat. And then, there's nothing left. There is nothing left for us. There is nothing Nobody left for us to face. Nobody for you to face for the championship ever. And that's a problem with Fight for the Fallen coming out. And out comes Evil Uno and the rest of the Dark Order. Of course, it's the same shtick as last week, except this week, Dick Kick City for Mr. Evil Uno. So the Elite come out, they beat up on the Dark Order. Hangman Adam Page makes the save. He and Kenny Omega have a bit of a stare down. And I'm thinking, whoa, no. This is too early. This match has to happen at All Out. This match is tailor-made for All Out. Not some free pay-per-view like event on free TV. No. This match you have to pay to see. So, I do not want to see Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page at Fight for the Fallen. I want to see Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega at All Out. Where 1 year ago, they lost the AEW World Tag Team titles to FTR. And that was the night that Kenny Omega pretty much said, fuck this shit, I am out. I'm done with this team. I don't want anything left to do with this team. I should be World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm going to make sure I become World Heavyweight Champion. And that is what needs to happen. I don't care what they fucking do with any... They could have literally Kenny Omega find somebody if he wants to defend the title at Fight for the Fallen, which he doesn't have to. Not Hangman Adam Page. I don't want to see anybody try to defend them putting this title match on early. Because it's one and done. I do not need to see this match happen at Fight for the Fallen. Hey, Kenny Omega win by cheating or whatever, or Hangman gets a win without winning the championship, and then we go to All Out for the actual match. I don't want to see it. So, yeah, they're teasing it. I don't want to see it. I want to see it at All Out. I do not need to see it in the month of July or even August. I need to see it at the beginning of September when it needs to happen. Earlier today, Jim Ross sat down with Ethan Page, and Darby Allin says he finds it uneasy that they keep talking about ending each other's careers. Page says maybe Allin deserves not having a career any longer. Ross wonders how that is. Allin says it took him only 1 year to get to the point where it took Page 12 years. Allin says he dropped everything to get to AEW, even went homeless in his car. AEW, he says Page was complacent, got married, didn't leave his hometown. Page says if it wasn't for him, Allin would still be in the gutter. I brought you in and up in the professional wrestling. Page confirms the confirmed match will take place on next week's show, and that is that. So, just the intensity between these two. You can actually sit there and watch this interview and believe these two don't like each other, and these two want to kill each other. That, you just watch that. That's missing from a lot of professional wrestling nowadays, is you have guys sitting there just cutting a promo, and you don't believe a damn thing they say. I believed every word that these two went out there and said. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This was great. Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager with Conan versus FTR and Wardlow with Tully Blanchard. This was a fun match. The Pinnacle win with the big rig wasn't a very long match. I think these guys could do a lot more. But Wheeler continues to work over Ortiz, drop to the mat, cover, and it's broken up. Hardwood with a blind tag punch to the face. Powerbomb, jackknife pin for a 2. Wardlow and Hager finally get in this match. They go one-on-one against each other. Hager tries to roll up, but he goes for the ankle lock. Tully helps with the distraction. FTR hits the big rig on Hager. Wardlow gets the pin and the win. And then after the match, for whatever fucking reason, Conan gets in the ring, hits Wardlow with the slapjacks on the back of the head. Don't know why he did that. This pisses Wardlow off, and you have Conan sitting there swinging this thing around when Tully chop blocks him from behind, and the Inner Circles chase him off. What was the point of that? Backstage, the Good Brothers are saying the problem is Jon Moxley. Colin Anderson brings up the fact that he had a long history in in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it makes him fucking sick to see Jon Moxley as a champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So next week, unadvertised except for this week, for with 1 week build, next week Jon Moxley will make his return to defend the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship against Carl Anderson. Why? And no, we don't see any Jon Moxley tonight, so he wasn't in Miami at all. He'll be in Texas next week, apparently. Why even build this match for 1 week? You have 4 weeks in a row that you're doing these big pay-per-view type shows. Which, one, in my opinion, is just diluting the entire monthly pay-per-view style shows. There's no fucking reason that you need to do that. But it is what it is. So here we are. And it is what we got. So next week, Carl Anderson versus Jon Moxley. Should be a good match. I can fully see Jon Moxley dropping the title. I mean, why not? Gives it to Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson can hold the championship. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though. Then we move on to the stipulations, and this was great. This was fucking great. If I can get the thing to work, we'll have these stipulations for Chris Jericho and MJF. Okay, you want to be done like that? I'll get it. It's gonna show up. I can't do this justice, so let's turn up the volume.
Nickname comes from demigod being demogod, which is a little bit odd considering you're definitely no longer in the key demo, bud. He's still Chris Jericho, guys. Come on, take it easy on him. You know, my favorite Greek story was the labors of Hercules, and you're gonna have 5 labors, Chris. The first 4 will be opponents of my choosing, all with different stipulations, and you have to win back to back to back to back. And the 5th stipulation, if you manage to get through the first 4, which you won't, you get that MJF rub one more time. You get an opportunity to wrestle me one more time, and when I beat you for a 3rd time, hopefully you get it through your thick skull that I'm better than you, and you know it. So what do you say, Hercules? You gonna sign on the dotted line or what?
I'll say this, Max. If I can't outlast your labors of Jericho, and if I can't beat you, maybe I don't deserve to be in AEW anymore anyways. But I'll tell you this, if you want to talk about Greek mythology, I'm your guy. I'm going to accept your labors because I am the god of battle. I am the god of thunder. I am the god of war in AEW. And I am going to beat you. You're damn right I am.
Great fucking crowd tonight.
I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to ruin your life the way you tried to ruin mine. And that ain't no mythology.
Whoa, Chris! This ain't over yet. Before you leave, see, I don't come from a dumpster fire like Miami, Florida. I come from the greatest place in the world, Plainview, Long Island, New York. And in Plainview, Long Island, New York, a deal is not done until both parties shake hands. Shake my hand or the deal's off!
Judas Effect.
Run the temple!
Judas Effect knocks out MJF. There was a lot more to that promo. But yeah, this 5 opponents, of course the 5th one being him, all with his stipulations as they go. Now, before that even happened, some fat fuck tried to jump into the ring and go after MJF, but that of course got stopped. And MJF, of course, he handled it like a professional. I say Tony Schiavone with the faker with more cringe ass bullshit. I have no care for what the fuck she says, and next week's match or whatever the fuck night they have their match is going to be nothing but a fucking train wreck. I hope Tony Khan knows what he's getting himself into, because Faker versus Rose is going to be a fucking disaster. Andrade El Idolo takes on Matt Sydal, and Andrade comes out dressed as the Black Mask. Holy shit, that was fucking awesome. All the way down to the white suit and the black tie, and the Black Mask. Like, I literally looked like he pulled out of DC Comics, this outfit. Fucking great. As for the match, it wasn't as good as I hoped it was going to be. It was still a good match. Crowd was into it for the most part, but I honestly think they could have did a lot better between these two, with especially how good both of these guys really are and how well we know both of these guys can go. But Andrade, of course, gets the win. He's not doing the hammerlock DDT the way he was before. I think he's doing a hammerlock flatliner. So, yeah, instead of doing the hammerlock DDT, which of course is what Tay Conti uses, what she calls the DD tie, he's now doing it, but he's doing a flatliner called the El Idolo. So he hits that, gets the pin, and the win. So we get a video promo for Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy. Matt says every time he does something, Christian isn't far behind. Hardy says they all had an agreement at Double or Nothing, but Christian broke that promise. Hardy announces next week will be a Hardy versus Christian match. Says Christian, of course, accepts, and either to get on his level or get out of his way. Then, the biggest surprise of the night. Please tell me this is all okay, so Arn Anderson's in the ring. Gonna get some kind of announcement. I don't have a fucking clue what this guy's going to do. Out go the lights, as they did earlier. This is where that ties in.
The lights are out, as we can all see.
And standing in the corner of the ring is not Aleister Black, not Tommy End, Malakai Black. Yes. The former Aleister Black / Tommy End is now a Malakai Black. Earlier today, Malakai put on his Instagram account a very, very well done, well produced video introducing Malakai Black. We see a doctor looking over some papers. Josiah Williams comes in playing another doctor. They're talking about Josiah's character being assigned to take care, to watch over this guy or whatever. They go in, they have some words. After the lights flicker a little bit, he has his head down, lights flicker a little bit. He comes back up, he stands up, just with his hand alone, slices the old doctor's throat, killing him. Somehow he got loose from his cuffs. Goes over to choke Josiah's character and says, "I'm not Tommy, I'm Malakai." Then we flash to him walking towards the camera from the dark, and he's singing "The Devil Made Me Do It," and it goes to black. Now, about a week or so ago, I'm pretty sure we saw, there was a rumor going around, or notes, that somebody in WWE's 90-day no-competes got their release. They did a deal, and they were able to get out of the 90-day no-compete clause. Well, that turned out to be Malakai Black. So, Malakai Black is now all elite. And he hits the Black Mass. Black Mass on Don Anderson.
God almighty, what a kick right to Arn Anderson's face. There's Cody.
Cody's in the ring.
That is a man that I wrestled 15 years ago in Dusseldorf, Germany. That is Tommy End. But that man standing in the ring, that is not Tommy
He backs off like he's not going to do anything. Black Master Cody.
With that street shoe on right in the face of Cody. Tommy End or whatever he's going to be called.
That is Malakai Black.
Oh my God.
What a great name, by the way. What a great name.
Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes.
The eyes of a trained killer, if you ask me.
The crowd is losing it. This is a great fucking surprise.
I had no earthly idea this man was...
Now, you know, I've been saying it, like, what was the point of the factory and everything? Why were we even doing the factory? Here, when I was about, like, come on, Cody wins another match. QT loses. What's the point of the factory? Get this shit over with. Kill the factory. We don't need him in AEW. It's worthless. Well, there's a reason we didn't have QT Marshall win tonight. And I'm not going to say Marshall except for right here because it's stupid as shit. Next, so yes, Malakai Black, the former Aleister Black, the former Tommy End, which I'm sure if he's on Twitter, on Twitch with his wife's thing, he's still going to go by Tommy because when it's, and like, this is what I do with professional wrestling. If it's behind the curtain, if it's in front of the curtain, like the curtain opens and you're performing, he's Malakai Black. As soon as that curtain closes, he can be Tommy End all he wants. So Tommy, whatever his fucking actual real name is. So, WWE is going to regret losing him and not using him the way they could. They're going to regret the way they misused Andrade, who came in and had a pretty decent match. I think it could have been a lot better, but hey, another match between those two down the line would be fine by me. And Malakai Black, I love the name. Love the dark character. I can't wait to see more about this, what they're going to do with this guy, what this guy's going to be able to do on his own. A lot of people can talk shit on WWE and everything, and yes, we can, because that's what we do. But Tommy and Malakai Black got to work on things that, like, if he was going to be gone from WWE the next day, he was able to refine himself in WWE to go somewhere else and become a better guy. So you can't say that that him going to WWE was a bad thing. Yes, they misused him. Yes, he should have been the second coming of The Undertaker or whatever people want to say. He could have been a champion, a world champion in that company for years to come, and they just never wanted to get fucking behind him. So here he is. Let's see what happens in AEW. Going from this to Ricky Starks, who came to the ring before the show, talked some trash. Taz came out, wasn't too happy about it. Brian Cage came out eventually, and he beat up his Ricky Starks' security, and that match is going to be happening next week. The Blade and the Bunny versus Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy. Now, of course, this match is happening because Orange Cassidy got his lights knocked out a couple weeks ago. And Chris Statlander is his best friend now. So, for all I know, they're dating in real life. I don't know. But this was a pretty good match, too. Cassie in the ring with the Bunny at first, doing the leg kick. She's literally just looking there like, really? Really? She has her head tilted. She's got that look of, what the fuck is this dumbass doing? And before he could even do the kick, the super kick, the lazy super kick, she just backs away and is like, fuck this shit, Blade, get in here and kick his ass. So that was pretty funny. So, yeah. Statlander was able to hit a Blue Thunder Bomb. She gets a 2 count. Cassidy and Blade tag in. Cassidy flies off the top ropes, hits a DDT, cover 2. He goes back to the top, but Bunny shoves him off to the floor. Statlander with a headbutt to Bunny, sending her to the floor. Statlander then hits a 450 on the Blade. Picture perfect 450. If Chris Statlander is not the women's champion by the end of the year, they're doing something wrong. She is number 4 in the top 10, and after Nyla Rose, of course, gets beat in the stupidest way possible, she'll be number 3 at least. Let's see here. Cassidy with the cover, but Bunny pulls him out of the ring. Blade is able to set up another thing of brass knuckles because the referee took the last pair and the bunny is distracting them. He hits Cassidy as Cassidy goes for the orange punch. He goes over, Blade goes over to Bunny, and gets rid of the evidence. Unbeknownst to them, Statlander makes the tag. The referee sees this. The Blade walks over, does his one foot on the wrestler, putting the guns up pose. Doesn't realize that the tag was made. Chris Statlander comes in, shoves the Blade, knocking him out of the ring. Big Bang Theory 1, 2, 3. So, Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander win by the skin of their teeth. Decent match there. Let's see, in the crowd, Tony Schiavone. This part just pissed me the fuck off. What the fuck was the point of this? Dan Lambert, Amanda Nunes, and Jorge Masvidal. Lambert takes the mic and introduces the other two. Lambert then crosses the barricade and gets in the ring. He says once he's skeptical about coming out here because he says AEW sucks. And he just runs all this shit about how championship wrestling for Florida back in the 70s and 80s was great. This product nowadays sucks. Just running down AEW only for Lance Archer to come in, knock him out, hit the blackout. Waste of fucking time. Plain and simple, waste of time. Why did the AEW even need to use Dan Lambert? I don't fucking understand that shit. Please. Please, someone explain to me why this needed to fucking happen. I do not fucking know. Waste of time. You could have put a fucking match on there for the little time they had there. Or done something. A promo that actually means something. This meant nothing. And this was annoying as shit. There was no reason for it. And it was just a waste of our fucking time. Like I said, this show was great. Except for that. Next week on Fyter Fest Night 1. Brian Cage vs. Ricky Starks. FTW World Championship. Ethan Page vs. Darby Allin in a coffin match. Matt Hardy vs. Christian Cage. Penelope Ford versus the returning Yuka Sakazaki. Hangman Adam Page speaks, and Jon Moxley defends the IWGP US Heavyweight title against Carl Anderson. I think that should have been left for a Fight for the Fallen, instead of having Kenny Omega probably waste a world title match on Fight for the Fallen, in which him and Hangman Page should only be fighting at the pay-per-view in September, and put Jon Moxley versus Carl Anderson in a hyped-up match in that main event. The Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo street fight for the AEW World Tag Team titles. I swear the Young Bucks are trying to show how big of a douchebags they are every single week. Last week, they were wearing porn stash mustaches. This week, they're wearing shorts that make them look like they were fucking coming or going to the gay bar. What the hell was that? They were in these fucking short jeans. They had fucking bandanas all over the place. Props to Eddie Kingston wearing the Terry Funk shirt. If you don't know what's going on with Terry Funk, he is in a bad, bad health. Dementia, in assistance living. It sucks that he has to go through all he's going through. Wish Terry Funk the best, but great to see him pay homage to him tonight. So, this was a good match. This was a banger. Table spots. Eddie Kingston actually grabbed the table, put it in the ring, ripped the thing that goes around it off, broke the fucking table legs. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do with that thing. Michael Nakazawa gets put through a table, I think. Oh no, he got super kicked by the Young Bucks, and he sold it like he was killed. Brandon Cutler got put through a table by Frankie Kazarian late in the match, and that bump looked brutal. I don't know if Frankie couldn't get enough throwing to him, but his lower back hit the edge of the table, and it just looked very bad. I hope Brandon Cutler's okay. And yeah, so these two teams beat the other living hell out of each other. We had a fucking Penta hitting one of the Young Bucks with a Canadian Destroyer through a table. Because when the Young Bucks take on Penta, he has to put one of them through a table, but they hurt with that. Of course, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows get involved, but They don't, and Luke Gallows or Carl Anderson bring it back attacks, which gets used later. All said and done, this was a banger. Super kick with thumbtacks in Eddie Kingston's mouth. Picks up the win. That is that. The Young Bucks get the win. Nothing, you really didn't have time for anything to happen afterwards because they were cut in the black almost immediately afterwards. So, AEW Road Rsger is a success coming off of their first show outside of Daly's Place. It was a great set. And they still had the ramp. That's because of the arena. The arena was really small. So I'm sure next week when they're in Texas and they're in a little bit bigger arena, they won't have the ramp anymore. But they had the ramp. For the matches, the hard camera was watching from the ramp. So that was an interesting way for them to do that. Overall, really good match. I can't wait to see what happens on Dark and Dark Elevation to see who, if any, talent from the indie scenes get used this week. But that is your AEW on TNT review. AEW Road Rsger. The crazy Malakai Black makes his debut, and I can't wait to see what happens with him. Until then, my name is Franz. I will see you guys later. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on mine at the Franz Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the Franz Club, and find me on Instagram at the Franz Club. And I will see you guys Friday for SmackDown, the final live show in the Blunderdome. Until then, my name is Franz, and I'll see you guys later.